You see, here is where it's written, "Washu li maqdash ushakanti aftukan kimna, va'asu li mikdash v'shachanti b'tochechem." So this is how the mezuzah would look like, right? More particularly, this is how it looks like. So you would see this around the houses, Samaritan houses, and the entry specifically of the door.
Like a mezuzah. Or this is your
This
mezuzah.
is the mezuzah, basically. Now, what happened is that, you know, in the Shema it says "V'katavtem al mezuzot betecha," right? So this is basically what it means, "V'katavta al mezuzah," and it's not inside the wooden box. Specifically, I imagine the reason why the Jewish people started doing it is because they had a period where they didn't want to exactly show this maybe on the door. However, in the Shema it does say, "V'kashartem lut al yadecha v'oltatofot b'neinecha," right? So you shall put them as a sign on your hand and as a sign between your head. However, we do not put those signs physically. It's more of you could say a mental thing, a spiritual thing, right?
So you don't do a tefillin, you don't put on tefillin.
We don't. It's more like, for example, there's a verse that says, "V'maltem et harelat levavchen," like you shall. Basically, you shall keep your heart, right, humble, like something like that, right? Like it's a more of a metaphor, right, for us. However, some things are also taken literally like the mezuzah, basically.
So do you guys have brit milah?
Yes.
And like bar mitzvah also?
Yes.
Okay.
If we have to go inside, we have to remove our shoes because we basically are on holy ground. When Moshe basically went to Har Sinai, what did God tell him? "Sh'alna alecha ma'ariglecha ki ata b'makom kadosh." So remove your shoes because you're on holy ground, and inside is holy ground for us, right? So.
It's beautiful. So my first impression, if I may, is that I feel like I'm in a combination of two worlds. I feel like the design and like on the floor and the carpet, it feels to me like almost like a mosque, is it a bit? And yet all of the symbols that I see, they're of Yudim, like of my culture, but yet they also look different from a typical synagogue.
I completely understand that, and you know, you're right. It does feel like that, of course. However, we do believe that, you know, this has been how the sons of Israel has been praying for many years, for thousands of years, specifically because the Torah mentions prophets praying on their head, you know, on their face, like, you know, bowing down on their face, also standing up, and it's always towards Har Gerizim, like we've mentioned, and also toward, you know, you can see this part of the synagogue, the Knesset, is actually called the Mezbeach, the altar. But we don't have any sacrifices anymore because there's no Mishkan. So why is it called the Mezbeach? Is because the synagogue came instead of the Mishkan, and you know, the prayers are actually instead of the sacrifices. Everyone prays in the same place as they do every time, unless there's a festival. Sometimes they switch up. I pray in that corner over there next to my father and my two brothers. And I've been praying with this Torah for, I don't know, maybe 6 years now. This is my favorite Torah book here. We have many here, but this is my favorite one. It's just a small one. It's just convenient and beautiful.
Wow.
Very beautiful writing.
It is beautiful.
And we also have, so this is the Torah, but we also have prayer books. So let me show you my favorite prayer book. It's this one. So this is a little bit of a different font, you can see. This is for like the Ktav B'yad almost, right? You can see here, there's signs above the letters, like this one. This is basically to help us with chants.
Wow, so it's almost like a musical note, if you will.
So you can see also the holy curtain, which is known in Hebrew as Parochet, Fareket in ancient Hebrew, Samaritan Hebrew. And inside, of course, on the Fareket is changed almost monthly or based on the festival or holiday. This is how it looks like.
Wow.
So let me show you also one more thing. So what did God give to Moshe on Mount Sinai.
Torah.
One, the 2 tablets. And the third thing is the mitzvah, mesaba. Basically Torah Be'al Peh, you can call it. So we have all those etched here. So you have the Mishkan, the tools of the Mishkan. So you have the menorah, you have the high priest clothing, you have the altar, Aron HaKodesh, and also where the high priest used to speak to God between the 2 wings, right? Ben Shnei HaKeruvim, like you would say. You also have the 10 Commandments.
Wow.
Inside is the Torah, the Chumash. You can see it's also, there's a layer that protects it, an extra protection. This one specifically is not the oldest one we have, but really it's not about the age, right? So, you know, we have, of course, the Chumash is inside here and inside here, right? So it's 50 meters wide if we open it all. But you have to understand that we never open it all. It's always on the same page in the middle, and it's always on the page where it has the verse that says, Aaron raised his hand and blessed the nation. So you can see the 2 handles here. This is where the Chazan kind of lifts up the Torah and then raises it up and down and left and right so that the people around him, the people who are praying, can see it and get the blessings from it. The language. So we learned this font, this Hebrew, which is known as Paleo-Hebrew, which means ancient Hebrew, Samaritan ancient Hebrew, at a really young age. Almost about 4 or 5 years we start learning it. There's a school, basically after the normal school, there's a school at about 5, 6 p.m. that the children go to, and they start learning letter by letter. There's a guy who, basically he's not a guy, he's an old guy who's about 85 years old. He's actually my teacher as well. He used to be my teacher, still teaching this generation now. You can see this square right here. Looks like Samech, some people would say, but this is actually Ayin. And you can guess why. You know, it actually is a symbol for the eye.
Right.
See, right here. The next letter would be Yud, which is the symbol for Yad. Yud, Yad.
Oh, right,
hand.
Yad, yeah.
Nun, Yud, Kaf. Kaf means Kaf.
Yeah, like your hand.
Right, so this is Inek. Or I would, like, for example, show you another example would be Resh, which is basically Rosh. You can say for the head. You know, how does it sound like? If I want to read it in the Jewish Hebrew, V'katavtem al mezuzot betecha v'sharecha. In Samaritan, I would say, Ukatabtim ma'al mezuzot betek v'sharek. Or if I want to say, Barashit bara Elohim et hashamayim v'et haaretz, I would say, Barashit bara Elohim et hashamim v'et haaretz. Oriel, let's see if you can guess this one. If I say, Liklak mi yarsaku min muledetak. Liklak.
Lech lecha. Lech lecha meretz moledetcha.
Yafeh meod.
Okay,
You
so
see?
Abraham.
This Abraham. So you can guess, you see, and of course, you know, it's very similar. However, when I want to say, for example, the name of God, Yud Hey Vav Hey, we're not allowed to say it as well, so we say Shema instead of Adonai. See?
Shema.
Shema is like, you know, it's the name. Like saying
Like Hashem.
Yes.
Shema.
We do 7 hours of prayer, by the way, on Shabbat.
From what time?
So we come here at the beginning of Shabbat, so about an hour in the beginning of Shabbat, sunset Friday, like an hour before sunset. And then we go to sleep pretty early on Friday after the family gathering of drinking a little bit of tea and a little bit of cake. We go to sleep maybe 9 p.m. and then we wake up at 3 a.m. From 3 a.m. to 6 a.m. is a 3-hour-long prayer, which includes reading from the Torah, reading from the poems. Every week there's slight portions that are different than the other week, like depending on if it's the first week of the month, second week of the month. So it sounds like a lot, but actually it's one of my favorite parts of the year, of the week. So, and the reason is because, you know, there's of course the community gathering, but the poems are so beautiful, the vibrations of the place here, and everything is just amazing. And of course the cherry on top is the beautiful, delicious breakfast at 7 a.m. It's with a lot of tchina and sometimes a glass of arak, too early, but you know.
A big spread.
Yeah, but we have then like a 4-hour nap after that, if some people want to sleep after that, and then another 2-hour prayer from 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. And then we have half an hour at the exit of Shabbat. But all those during those 24 hours, we're not allowed to turn on any electrical devices or anything like that. So no work also, no turning on your car or anything like that. It's just the community gathering and just chatting about what happened during the week and what's happening maybe around the world. It's just, you can also say it's a dopamine detox as well. It's just, it's just a beautiful time to just sit with the family and relax, so you're more than welcome to come on Shabbat.
Oh, thank you. So you don't do like a typical kiddush, like a lot of people know it, because
Correct.
That's not in the culture.
We don't have kiddush. Our kiddush is basically the prayer of the beginning of Shabbat.
Yeah.
So a lot of people would wonder, why are there Samaritans in the first place? And why are there, for example, another version of the Torah? Like there's Samaritan version of the Torah, there's Jewish version of the Torah. First of all, you should know that the Samaritan version of the Torah, if we compare it word by word or letter by letter with the Jewish Torah, there's about 6,000 small differences. Some of them are bigger differences than the others. The biggest difference is the 10 Commandments. In the 10th commandment, we have the building of the Mishkan. We have to build the Mishkan, we have to build the altar on Mount Gerizim. That's the 10th commandment. But the difference happened when the split actually happened. So there used to be only the sons of Israel on Mount Gerizim and around the north, and eventually the split happened between the tribes. What caused the split specifically in our tradition is because there were two high priests fighting of who should be the high priest. One name is Uzi and one name is Eli. Uzi was the one who we believe was the right person to be the high priest. And then another person came, Eli, he told Uzi that why should you be the high priest? You're not, you're not any special or anything like that. So in our tradition, it is believed that Eli had power, had money, had privileges of sorts to be able to convince a group, a pretty big group, to go away from Mount Gerizim. And after he did that, he went to build the Mishkan away from Mount Gerizim to Shiloh. I'm sure you know about Shiloh. So when that happened, there's 10 tribes that sticked here, and there's 2.5 tribes that went away from Mount Gerizim. And eventually you have the Solomon building the temple in Jerusalem, so making basically the tabernacle, the Mishkan, inside the temple. Basically the temple, Beit HaMikdash, is what made the tabernacle permanent, really, to be in Jerusalem. Of course, this is not coming from me to disrespect the Jewish people or anything like that. It's just really, I'm telling you what is believed from the tradition. If you ask some Jewish people, especially in the Orthodox world, what is the origin of Samaritans, they would tell you that we are actually Kutim, people who came from Kuta, near Iraq, to replace people who were exiled from the place here by the Assyrians. Because when the Assyrians exiled the people here, who were basically the elite group, they didn't want the people, or they didn't want the land here to be empty. Because if that happened, basically beasts and lions would come and control the land here. That's the tradition that is believed. So in order for them not to make the land empty, they brought people from Kuta, they brought him here, and those people, they went to ask the king, how do you practice Judaism? How do you read Torah? And eventually, in the Jewish belief, those people came up to believe in Mount Gerizim as well, right? Now, what's interesting is that DNA evidence has been finding that we are not really from Iraq, that we're actually part of the sons of Israel, and your audience, you can also look it up and see that there's, DNA tests proving that Samaritans are actually, for example, have the highest percentage of Levantine, DNA, 95% Levantine, meaning that our ancestors have really never left the land here for more than 3,000 years. So this is not really to say, again, not really to neglect anyone's belief. We love, Jerusalem is also a holy city for us as well. It's just that we do, we're honored to be here, and we're honored to be, calling ourselves the son of Israel, because that's what Samaritans means, the keepers, the guardians of the Torah.
So when people ask you, are you a Jew? How do you, in a nutshell, how do you explain it? Because you say we're part of the sons of Israel, and
yes,
Jews consider themselves also sons of Israel, but there is how would you explain the difference, if there is one at all?
I would say we are and we are not Jewish. we are in terms of like today, if you call someone Jewish, like most likely you might mean like if they believe in the Torah, or if their ancestors believed in the Torah, and they have this. I mean, you can say Jewish blood, but then again, what is a Jewish blood? So the reasons why we don't really call ourselves Jewish is because we are not from the tribe of Judah, as we believe. We're from the tribe of Levi, half of the tribe of Levi, basically. Like I'm from the Cohen family, so I'm from Levi. And there's the two sons of Joseph. So there's like 4 families here in the community that are from the 2 sons of Joseph, Ephraim and Menashe. And the Jewish people are from Judah, Benjamin, and half of Levi, like what's been left today. So this is what I would say. But again, we do believe that us and the Jewish people are in many ways, we're tribes, so we are brothers in many ways, right? So and because we lived with the Palestinians for so long, we also are brothers with the Palestinians, and we have Palestinian dishes in our families, and we name ourselves in Arabic names. My name in the ID is Abdallah, and then we have Abdallah Cohen. So always confuses people, but it's also always opens up conversations.
How is your relationship to Hashem? Like, what do you feel about him? How do you look at your relationship with him? Who is he for you?
Sure. Wow, it's a beautiful question. Hashem is believed to be, of course, like how the Jewish people also see him, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Even the name is like, it has a secret, because it can be the past, the future, the present. So Ehyeh Asher Ehyeh. In many ways, also we are a part of God, because it's also written V'B'Tselem Elohim Asayat et Adam, right? So we are a kind of an image of God in many ways. And what does that mean? I mean, in our tradition, it is believed that God gave us basically the ability to experience the world almost as much as how he would like us, exactly how he would like us, especially because he created the world, and he said, anytime he created something beautiful, he said, V'yareh Elohim ki tov, and then God saw that it was good. And what happens when you see something that is really good? You want to share it. So God shared this world with us, and then it was like, here you go, experience it, see it.
Do Samaritans believe in a Messiah? Like
we do. We don't call him the Mashiach, we call him Ta'ib, and it's believed that he will reunite the children of Israel on Mount Gerizim and bring peace to the world and rebuild the Mishkan on Mount Gerizim.
So do they know who he is, or is it?
We don't know. There's like hints that he will not be specifically from the tribe of Levi, but from the tribe of Joseph. And also, there's no concept of hell in our traditions. So there is a concept of hell here, which is like if you do the wrong things, you might end up creating hell on earth.
Oh. Is there any type of afterlife?
There was no mention of afterlife. However, it doesn't mean that there's no afterlife, like in the belief. Like, for example, we do have the concept of, there's a verse that says, "V'yitchanek Enoch le'Elohim," right? "Yetanak Elok et Elohim." "V'yininu ve'eneno ki leka utu Elohim, ki lakach oto Elohim." So what does that mean?
Like where, Leon?
Right. So that opens up questions.
Abood, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. So people should come and visit Har Gerizim.
We appreciate it whenever someone comes here. Specifically, there's so many things to see. Whether you're Christian or Jewish, it almost like brings the Torah or the Bible come to life. So
absolutely. Spectacular.
Yeah, she's seeing Nablus for the first time.
Wow.
That's Nablus over there.
It's so pretty.
Yeah. I love it.
Yeah. Wow. We're going to go to the viewpoint. What is it called? Yosef?
Mitzpeh Yosef, yeah.
Mitzpeh Yosef. I'm such a sucker for views. Like, give me anywhere that's like at a high place, and I'm like, wow. So how big is Nablus? Because it was like, does it stretch around like the mountain? Because that's Nablus and this is Nablus, right?
Yeah.
Okay. You've told me that like Haredim literally will just come in.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Wow.
But they can also go with the army like one time per month. One time per month, the army joins them so that they can enter Kever Yosef with security. You see how there's a huge difference between that where you're looking right now,
Yeah.
and the houses over there. That's a refugee camp.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, very dense. Wow. You can see the mosques. You can see they have golden domes. You can see another one over here. But this is very typical of Arab build, like you would see in Arab villages. So like I was explaining before, they build with the mountain like that. They don't necessarily like straighten it, flatten it out, and then build. So it sort of just looks like this. So you can see how it stretches like all the way from there and then around. When you think refugee camps, in my mind, I've always thought like tents. And yes, sure, there are refugee camps that are, tents, but these are actual houses. So it's probably something more akin to like a rough neighborhood, very like, small, stuff like that. But it's not exactly what people, think. This land is very like war torn, right? And so, you have places like this that are, religious. And of course you have, like at the top, you'll have the Chanukiah and stuff like that. And then right beneath it, you have, a village that could, hate the people that do this. And so it's mixed. And that's not to say that everyone here is bad, but it needs to be clear that the reason that there are checkpoints is to keep people safe. I do not think that people understand just the amount of thwarted terrorist attacks that come from places like this. And so it's not for no reason that there are checkpoints. It's very, very, very important to say that. So just take everything sort of with the understanding that it's to keep people safe. That's all I can say. Guys, we're hungry. We're going to eat. What are you're eating at your friend's restaurant, right? You know these people.
Yeah, it's one of the only restaurants here. There's also falafel, but yeah, here they do mostly fish. And Samaritans have their own cuisine in general. Since they live between Israelis and Palestinians, then it's pretty much a lot of it is Levantine food and influenced by that. Like Jews, they don't mix meat and dairy. They don't eat certain seafood, well, like most seafood, but they have a special way to slaughter their meat. They say a different prayer than Jews do for kosher food and Muslims do for halal meat. They say a little bit differently, and they do it towards Gerizim Mountains. So
I'm so excited to eat food.
Yeah, they have their special butchers over here, and only here and in Holon maybe you can get Samaritan kosher food. So it's a struggle for them because they grow up, they spend most of their time in Nablus, and they can't even eat knafe because it can be not kosher, the cheese, or they can't eat shawarma, they can't eat the meat. You know what I'm saying, like a Jew living abroad. So this is a Samaritan kind of salad.
Wow.
And this is hummus, I believe it's from Nablus.
From Nablus?
Nablus has amazing hummus. I'll ask him this. Hummus min Nablus? Ah, okay.
So this is almost like lafa, but really it's like very thin. Okay. And I guess you do it just like we do with pita.
Yeah.
Whoops. Sort of looks, can't really see it well. Looks sort of like that.
Yeah.
Oh, it's good.
Yeah.
I like it. It's trina. Zach?
Yeah. Trina. I got a special dessert for you.
What is this?
This is knafe from Nablus.
Die.
I stopped in the old city in Nablus on my way here.
Really?
And yeah, this is Al-Aqsa knafe. It's the best knafe in Nablus. I mean, I would say it's the best knafe in Palestine because Nablus is where knafe was born. So yeah, go ahead.
Wow, no, thank you.
Yeah.
I didn't know you were going to do that. You're going to eat with me?
Huh?
You're going to eat with me?
Sure, yeah, I brought 2 spoons. I'll have a bit.
Yes.
I'm trying to stay in shape.
Wow. Okay.
Saha.
Okay, guys, unorthodox, but I'm going to eat it with my hands. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good. How much was this?
I guess.
8 shekels.
No, less.
3.
5.
5.
For this piece, yeah. How much would it be in Israel? Like 20?
Like 25 at least.
Yeah. You like it?
Yeah, I do. So guys, we've seen knafe, like we've eaten knafe together in the Shuk Machane Yehuda.
Where is it better?
Well, I feel like it's not fair to judge this because we're not eating it warm.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I'm sorry you went to Har instead of Har Gerizim, but.
Visiting now with the Samaritans has been a really, really, really special experience. You know, it really does teach you a lot about the different cultures and who they are and why they are and how different they are from what, you know, like how I grew up or how a lot of like other Jewish people grow up and how they consider themselves to be. And I just find it just so fascinating. So I hope that you guys have enjoyed this video. Come to visit Har Gerizim, and I'll see you guys in another vlog very soon.